We have another stalwart from Nagpur about whom I'm going to talk to you in a brief time. He has been awarded Dr. V.N. Bagadia Endowment Award for his social and community work. पुढची स्लाइड घे ना. Dr. Avinash Joshi, Albert Einstein lookalike from Nagpur, graduated from Government Medical College, Nagpur in 1978, the year I joined my medical school. He did his DPM and MD in 1982 from GS Medical College and KM Hospital, Mumbai. And we hear a lot many stories about his being taught by stalwarts in psychiatry in those days, Dr. Bungaji, Dr. Vaiya sir, and how they have taught him basics in understanding of psychology. Those are worth listening. He joined medical college in Nagpur as a lecturer, and later on he moved to Government Mental Hospital as a psychiatrist, and from there he shifted to ESIS Hospital, Nagpur. And even today he is working on a contractual basis with the ESIS Hospital since then. So he is working in government setup since 1982-83. He is in private practice also since last almost 35 years. He passed his Asan Pravesh examination conducted by Janardhan Swami Yoga Abhyasi Mandal, Nagpur, and his keen interest in music. He passed his BA Additional Vocal Music from Nagpur University in 2017, and currently he is doing his MA in Indian Classical Music from Nagpur University. He is supported in all his endeavors by Dr. Sulabha Joshi, who is a gynecologist and is a professor and head of the Department of Obstetric and Gynecology at NKP Sadhve Institute of Medical Sciences. His two sons, both engineers, are working at Pune, and they are also toppers in their education and in their fields of working and interest. Next slide. Normally, we take pride in discussing our publications in the field that we work. But here is one person who has publications not only in psychiatry but in other fields. He authored a lesson in book for 9th and 10th standard, the study book of personality development. The topic was adolescent. It was written in English and Marathi, and it was 14 pages chapter, and the book was published by Maharashtra State Education Board, Pune. He has written more than 30 articles in various newspapers on various psychiatric subjects. He has given talks on radios and TV for numerous times. He has authored various articles in different magazines related to public awareness about psychiatry, and he has conducted research on yoga and presented paper on depression and yoga at National IMA conference in 2012 at Nagpur. His personal philosophy is think globally, act locally, envy nobody, accept oneself unconditionally, and enjoy the lives of other people to experience more pleasure. And that is something myself and Dr. Sudhir Bhave and all other members of the Psychiatric Society Nagpur experience every now and then at our meetings. He is a founder of Mayflower School for Intellectually Challenged Children. The school was started in 1989 with 2 children under the charitable trust of National Institute of Psychological Medicine, Nagpur, without any government funding. It is meant for children who are educable, that is whose IQ is between 50 and 70. The school is located at Kasturba Bhavan, Bajaj Nagar, Nagpur, and it still runs and almost has 50 to 60 students. And we have the exhibition of all the material that is produced at the school during the mental health week that we celebrate at Nagpur every year. One of the fantastic idea that he had in his mind was to create a museum of brain and mind. It was started in 2010 and it is run by a charitable trust, Brain and Mind Research Academy, Nagpur. It is probably the only museum of brain and mind in India, if not in the world. It is free for all. The aim is to educate public and other medical professionals that psychiatry is a vast subject and much more beyond something called madness. He is also founder of online marriage bureau, manomarriage.com. Again, a different kind of a concept. It is meant for people who do not mind marrying a person having psychiatric, neurological, sexual, reproductive, or any other physical disabilities, or to a widower, or a divorcee. And again, probably this is one of the very rare social work that he has undertaken. He was on the forefront of tsunami relief work in Andaman and Nicobar at Port Blair. In 2004, he, along with 3 of other medical specialties from Nagpur, went to Andaman and Nicobar, and they were working in the relief camps, the government relief camps, where more than 10,000 people were living in those camps, and most of them were suffering from PTSD and other acute stress disorders following the tsunami that we experienced probably only once in our lifetime. They conducted baby shower program for more than 50 pregnant ladies on a mass scale, in which all the camp residents participated, and it rekindled new hope in them, and their repatriation to their respective villages became easier for the administration. So it was a great humanitarian work which was single-handedly conducted by Dr. Avinash Joshi. He is a founder of Internet Bugs Group for management of net addiction on the lines of Alcoholics Anonymous, long before we became aware of the cyber psychiatric syndromes. Unfortunately, he cannot run it on a large scale because of poor response which was given by the general population. Dr. Avinash Joshi has green fingers. He has donated and helped in planting more than 10,000 saplings so far. He adopted a village 40 kilometers away from Nagpur, and he has made it as green as possible. And these are some of his activities which were put in newspapers. He got manomarriage.com. This is the website. It has a helpline number also. Next one. This is his nursery. He has a nursery where the trees are sold and whatever profits are earned, they are put in the greening of villages that he undertakes. These are some of his articles that are published in Maharashtra Times and some other newspapers which are published in Nagpur. He received the honor of Mayor Innovation Award for his extraordinary contribution in raising pride of Nagpur city by his various activities. This is the certificate and this is a trophy that was presented to him last year. So with this brief introduction, I invite Dr. Avinash Joshi to speak about his non-psychiatric activities and enlighten us into different areas where we can work.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Hello.
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
Namaskar to all. Vivek, it was not brief, but thank you so much for your so kind introduction. But I must say it was not brief. It is my privilege to be conferred with Dr. V.N. Bagadia Endowment Award. Because of one fact that I did my first house job under Dr. Bagadia in KM Hospital, Mumbai. So it is an honor that his houseman is getting awarded at by the award which is named after him. And it is a great pleasure and an honor for me that I am getting this award where I have worked under him. Dr. Bagadia was an excellent human being, an ardent teacher, and a psychiatrist par excellence. He is one of the few post-independent era psychiatrists, third or fourth psychiatrist of India, on whose shoulder today's psychiatrists are standing. It is because of the devotion of psychiatrists like Bagadia and his contemporaries that the psychiatric departments in various colleges of medical colleges of India are established, and we today's psychiatrists are standing on their shoulder. So I salute to Dr. Bagadia. I accept this award as a token of altruism present in all psychiatrists, because I know there are many brilliant and more deserving psychiatrists in India who are doing excellent work in the field of psychiatry in their own way. To get recognition and get awarded by your own fellow colleagues is a highly great honor and a great satisfaction than getting a civilian award. Your own colleagues, your own faculty colleagues giving you an award is a great honor than getting a civilian award like Padma Shri and something like that. To give a brief background of my personal life, I was born in a poor family in Wardha, the smallest district in Maharashtra, with only one science college. We are 12 siblings, 11. We are 12 siblings, 7 brothers and 5 sisters. And my birth order is 11th. So I just managed to get included in Joshi's cricket team as a 11th tail ender. My just elder brother, he managed to see that I get 2 square meals per day while studying in medical colleges. So I am extremely grateful to my elder brother who at least provided 2 square meals to me while I was studying in medical colleges. My school education was in municipal and government schools, and then I did my graduation from Government Medical College, Nagpur, with all the concessions given to economically backward students. So I am extremely thankful to the government of Maharashtra for sponsoring my entire education. Otherwise, I would not have been sitting here. While in Government Medical College, Nagpur, all books were provided by college library free of cost. The only book which I purchased was Goodman and Gilman's Pharmacology at the cost of 110 rupees, which was given to me by my elder sister. Since that book was not available in the library of Medical College. After internship, admission in St. G.S. Medical College, Mumbai, from where I did my MD and DPM. The only book I have purchased during my PGship was Synopsis of Psychiatry by Sodok and Kaplan, which I purchased from the footpath near Viti station for rupees 80 only. So this is the only investment I have done for my education. My sincere thanks to the government of Maharashtra. As a lecturer, I used to see many children with intellectual disabilities about whom I could do nothing. At that time, there was only one school in Nagpur for such intellectually handicapped children, but it was meant for all grades, right from severely mentally retarded children to educable children. Many parents were reluctant to go to that school because they said our child is not that bad. So I started Mayflower School for Intellectually Handicapped Children in 1989 for those students who are educable and whose IQ is in between 50 and 70. I am proud to say that now these children who are now adults are holding, many of them, they are holding petty jobs and earning some money. As most of us have experienced, people in general are still not aware about the vast scope of psychiatry. Keep aside the common man, even medical students in medical colleges in those days were not very aware of psychiatry as a subject. To bring awareness among medical students, I started psychiatry quiz during my lecturership for internees of all the 3 medical colleges in those days of Vidarbha in the name of Sigmund Freud Award. Perhaps it was the first ever multiple choice question examination in our field. Psychiatry is still equated with madness. In our society, psychiatry is seen either with awe or with fear, or with notion that a psychiatrist can read opposite person's mind or can hypnotize him, or they are not treated as real doctors. People do not know that it is a specialization after MBBS. My children used to ask me about various things like CT scan, brain, mind, and from various experiences in the society, I realized that there is a very little information to the people about psychiatry. On the contrary, they have got more misconceptions about psychiatry as compared to heart, as compared to the heart diseases, hypertension, cholesterol, angioplasty, etc. People have very little knowledge about brain and mind. People do not know the difference between a psychiatrist and a psychologist. They think both are same. And so all this scenario, it disturbed me. So I decided to start a permanent information center for the common man, and that is how the Museum of Brain and Mind came into existence. Although I had written several articles in newspapers and given many talks on the media, but I felt that a permanent center will help in a better way and spread the word of psychiatry in a scientific manner, in a better way. So the Museum of Brain and Mind came into existence, and it is still being run free of cost. As with all psychiatrists who have seen divorces because of presence of mental illness, usually in the bride, the divorces are seen by all the psychiatrists, including me. I have seen many divorces. But a beautiful and a highly educated girl, when she was to be married, her father asked me, should I conceal her mental illness or should I disclose? Of course, I told him that you disclose her problem to the opposite party, but he chose otherwise. And within 2 months after marriage, she came back to home, and now she is living alone, living a lonely life in an ashram. This disturbed me very much, and so I decided to start an online marriage bureau made for those people who do not mind marrying a person having a psychiatric problem, a neurological problem, or a sexual, a reproductive, or any other physical disability, with full transparency, giving all the details of their treatments, giving all the details of their doctors, giving all the details of their illnesses, so that there is a complete transparency. The most important part of this bureau is that the treating doctor certificate is a must, because I believe that the treating doctor can help these clients to find a suitable job as far as genetic incompatibility is concerned. He will guide the patient as to who will be a better match as far as genetic aspects are concerned. Although the bureau has been widely accepted by most of the psychiatrists in India and has been acclaimed by them, the success of this bureau will depend upon its popularity and awareness among non-psychiatric medical fraternity like the physicians, surgeons, gynecologists, ophthalmologists, ENT surgeons, dermatologists, etc., who may be having a differently disabled client, and this will also add more clients to the bureau for a better matchmaking. So how to popularize this bureau in non-psychiatric medical fraternity is a challenge. About my nursery and plantation, Vivek has already told that it is my passion. I want to give back to the nature whatever I may have depleted in my life. I want to return to the nature whatever I have depleted. The power of money lies in giving it to the others rather than holding it. Money is useless unless spent in a larger interest. I am aware all psychiatrists do it in some or the other way. Once again, I accept this award with gratitude towards our Nagpur Psychiatric Society. I am extremely thankful to the organizers of this conference and the award committee who have surprisingly chosen me for this award. I thank my hundreds of friends who have helped me in my journey, without whom I could not have achieved this award. Especially I am thankful to Dr. Vivek Kirpekar, who has been after me to send my biodata to him and to the committee, and he literally insisted and persuaded me to send my biodata. So I am very, very thankful to Dr. Vivek Kulkarni, Vivek Kirpekar. So I thank all, and I thank all the delegates psychiatrists for listening me. And I thank all those who have helped me in my journey. Jai Hind, Jai IPS.
Thank you so much, sir. I would really like to thank Dr. Kirpekar, sir, for chairing this session. And a big thank you to Dr. Joshi. I think it is a very well-deserved award, and your words are a source of great inspiration for all newcomers like us. So, sir, thank you very much.